Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to It's Still Real to Me. I'm your host, John Kuchar, aka Johnny Fashion. With me as always, Big Bad Harmon. What is happening tonight?
I am excited. I'm
Yeah.
excited for Dead Man to show up on November 15th on
Fuck yeah.
SmackDown.
Yeah, man, absolutely. He is showing up. The Undertaker. The Undertaker. Oh, love it. Yeah, man, it's always exciting when he comes back. So I'm pumped. Hey, speaking of things that are happening, how about them Cubbies last night, huh? Cubs
Yeah,
won.
I did not watch any of it.
I did not. I don't think I've watched any baseball this year. Maybe a Red Sox game here and there, but like, and when I say game, like, a couple innings. So, I have not watched baseball in a very long time. I think the only like professional sport I follow now consistently is the Pats. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't have network TV, so I watch them on the Red Zone channel if they're in the Red Zone.
There you go. Yeah, I watch it on like channel 13 with the rabbit ears. That's about it. And it comes in spotty when anybody walks by my TV. So it's pretty awesome.
Kids, sit down.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so that's pretty cool though. Cubs win. They end the like whatever 102-year-old curse or whatever it is, and us as
8.
is that what it was? 108. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. Us being Red Sox fans, we know what that's like. So,
Yeah, we feel for them.
yeah. So good for the Cubs. I'm glad they got that out of the way. It's pretty awesome.
Do you know which sports team is in the longest championship drought now?
I don't. What is it?
It's the Arizona Cardinals football team.
Oh, really? Oof.
Yeah.
How long? What's the timeline on it?
I don't know. I just heard it was done.
Oh, I thought you had something for me there. Damn it. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. The Cardinals, yeah,
I don't think they've ever won it.
I can't imagine that they have. No.
I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl there, 5 years ago with the Steelers and got beat.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that the Kurt Warner years? Or no? I think it was Kurt Warner was at the helm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Don't hold me to that, but I think so. Yeah, and they just always come up short. So they're terrible. They're a terrible franchise. Oh, God. You know who else is terrible? The Browns. Have fun, Jamie Collins. Jeez.
Don't make fun of the Browns too much. I'm playing their running back, Isaiah Crowell, this weekend.
Yeah, well, he'll get you some points, but Jesus, man. They're just a terrible franchise. And
well, we are in the bipocalypse right now, so
yeah. Yeah. Well, it's true.
Like this week and next week, like half of my team is on bye.
Yeah. That's tough.
Luckily, it's only one half at a time, so I can still field a team. But
there you go. Yeah. I don't know who I have on bye this week. I think I'm okay. It doesn't matter because my team's going to score garbage for points anyway, even if I have starters in. So it doesn't matter.
Listen, the good news is that everybody in our league is 3-5. So
it's true. Yeah. So the door is wide open for anybody.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'm at 4-4, but my team stinks right now.
Yeah, I mean that could change in a week, so it doesn't matter.
I'm really hoping DeMarco Murray breaks his leg.
Ow. Why? Who are you playing this week?
I'm playing Ben, but I've got Derrick Henry. So if DeMarco Murray breaks his leg, I get all of his carries.
I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Ouch. Oh man. Hey, you know what else is today? Today was National Sandwich Day. I don't know if you knew that, but
I had an Italian from Amato's.
Nice. Good. I love Amato's. There you go. I had a BLT, a homemade BLT tonight for dinner.
Do we have to explain what a real Maine Italian is to people?
Explain it. Do it. Explain it. They might not know.
I don't really know how to explain the bread. It's all in the bread because Lakeside makes an Italian, but it's on like French bread. It's horrible.
The convenience store that your girlfriend works at, you're just bashing right now. That's the worst. It's horrible.
It's good bread for a hot sandwich. If you're getting a meatball sub or a steak bomb, it's great. Chicken parm, it works good. But for a regular cold sandwich, it's too bulky.
Yeah.
But the thin Italian rolls, they're long, about a foot long, and you get ham, cheese, sour pickles,
Oh, love those pickles.
tomato, green pepper, olives, salt, pepper, and oil.
Yeah.
And
And I like
onions
that it's
too.
like open faced too. Like the
Yeah.
tomatoes are just like on top, kind of just hanging out there,
Yeah.
usually falling off. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Best. I love an
Uh,
Amato's Italian.
the closer you get to Portland or the coast, you get Greek olives. The more inland you get black olives. But the
Yeah.
key is the sour pickle, I think.
Oh, the sour pickle. I always get extra pickles because I love them.
Yeah, and we're not talking like pickled chips here. We're talking spears in there.
Yeah, spears.
Spears or like big thick sandwich slices of pickle.
Yeah, definitely. Now I'm getting hungry again, man. I need some Amato soon.
Nice soft bread.
Oh goodness.
Fresh.
It's too late.
It sticks to the roof of your mouth.
Oh man, it does. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. When we think about Amatos, god damn it. Oh man. Anyway, let's see. What do we got going on tonight? We already talked briefly about Undertaker, but we'll talk a bit more about Taker's return. We're gonna talk about some of the teams being announced for Survivor Series between Raw and SmackDown. Gonna talk some I don't know, some cruiserweight stuff, some injury stuff, some Goldberg stuff. Oh man, that was a little difficult to watch on Raw on Monday with Goldberg and Rusev. And then we're gonna have a little talk about some lack of stars that WWE is not producing. I guess they're not producing any stars nowadays, so we can talk about that. And and Randy Orton and Wyatts. I want to touch on that real quick tonight too. But anyway, let's start out with some recent news. Like you said, Harmon, earlier, Undertaker returns November 15th for the 900th episode of SmackDown. I love it. I don't know what he's gonna be doing, obviously, but should be pretty cool. There's like some speculation of like certain opponents and stuff, which I mean, I don't know yet. I don't think he's gonna be even in a match. I think he's just gonna be making an appearance. I'm assuming. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
now, SmackDown started in the late '90s. Was SmackDown the answer to Thunder? WCW Thunder?
Yeah, and it was it the late 90s? Really? Was it that early? It had to be. Yeah, because
it was like 98, 99.
Yeah, because WCW went out in like 2000. So yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah, and that was that's pretty huge, man. They put a lot into it. The big fist, I remember, that was pretty neat.
Yeah,
yeah, it was a big deal. And SmackDown was definitely like putting stars on TV. And then when they did the brand split, like they had big stars on there. And I mean, I remember Thunder was just a joke. Thunder was like the B squad.
Yeah, I don't remember watching Thunder at all.
I used to watch it just because it was on, and I love watching wrestling. So, and it would just be there, and I loved watching it. And usually, it would have some good wrestling.
But there was zero story on Thunder though. It was just wrestling.
Right. Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing, but in the middle of the Monday Night Wars,
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it had guys that you sometimes wouldn't see on Nitro. I know that's hard to believe because they really crammed a shit ton of programming into that 3-hour Nitro. But, it had guys on there like, our good buddy Glacier was on there a lot. It had,
all the cruiserweights you could see.
Cruiserweights were there. It had a lot of like of the international guys too, like a lot of the Japanese guys. They'd put on Thunder.
Steven Regal.
Regal was on there. Yeah, man, it was cool. I didn't mind Thunder. It had no business trying to compete with SmackDown once SmackDown came along because SmackDown was throwing like The Rock out there, and it's like those guys aren't going to be able to compete with The Rock. I mean, no offense to those guys, it's just like The Rock is The Rock. So, ratings obviously shifted towards WWE then. So, but anyway, yeah, Taker coming back for SmackDown. That'll be very cool. I guess you can officially add Undertaker to the SmackDown roster. He had been kind of like up in the air which way he was going to go, but he's on SmackDown, so it's pretty cool. Maybe he'll get involved with Orton and the Wyatts. That would be very cool. I don't know.
Maybe
We'll
he'll
see.
come out, maybe he'll come out and choke slam the Miz or something.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'd like to see that. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Then the Miz can blame Daniel Bryan for it.
I love it, dude. Their whole dynamic right now is gold. It's so good. I don't know if you saw SmackDown or not, but they had a really good in-ring kind of promo thing where it was Miz TV, and it's just great, man. I
loved how Daniel Bryan was announcing the members of the team, and he got AJ Styles, and then he started doing that. Nope.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was great. And the crowd got into it. Nope. Was I even considered? Nope. Yeah, it's the best. Yeah.
Did you just come out here to humiliate me? And the crowd goes, yes.
Yeah. So I love what they're doing right now. SmackDown's so entertaining right now. It's kind of funny how much better like SmackDown is than Raw.
Even the wrestling's really good on SmackDown right now.
Yeah, the wrestling's great. I mean,
you know what I love on SmackDown right now? Alexa Bliss, she has, the Twisted Bliss finisher. Mm-hmm. She's been winning with a DDT.
Yeah. She's great. She is like quickly becoming my favorite female wrestler. Like she's just so good. Everything she does, like
she's 5 feet of attitude.
Yeah. Like her facial expression's just so good. Everything's awesome about her. And I know that you've made mention about the way she wrestles and about how it's just like grinding and awesome. Like it's great, man. I can't agree more. I think it's fantastic. She's so good. She doesn't look like she doesn't risk a lot, similar to like how the Miz is, but like in a weird, like in a different way. Like,
she's way more athletic than the Miz.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, she's got the that move off the top rope, but other than that, like she's a grinder, man. She can,
Yeah, she doesn't do a lot of high spots, not a lot of.
Yeah, she's safe.
Yeah, she's a lot of brawling. Not a lot of slams and stuff like that. But the women aren't known for their slams anyway. But
yeah,
not unless you're facing Nia Jax or Becky Lynch is suplexing somebody.
Right, Bailey ran into Nia Jax this week too. Oof,
that was rough.
That was rough. Oh man, I don't know. I liked it. I didn't really love Bailey kind of losing, but it was just like, I mean, I know they gotta make Nia look strong, I guess. But what else? So, like you mentioned, some of the teams are being announced for the Survivor Series matches coming up. So it's pretty interesting. I know that the 5-on-5, the men's elimination match is, let's see, on Team Raw, we've got Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and then one more, I believe, we're waiting on.
Right.
And then for Team SmackDown, we've got AJ Styles, as you mentioned, Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton. I was reading on Twitter a lot that people were really having a problem with Baron Corbin being on this team, but I love it. I think it's great.
I don't. He's a guy that is there to be the next man up, He's going to get a push eventually, and we'll see how it goes. But I think he's getting way better.
Yeah, so you like that he's on the team, or you don't?
Yeah, I like that he's on the team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good spot for him. He's in that position now, like you said, where it's he's going to get a push up, and we'll see how he does. But I think he's fine. I think he's going to handle his own. And
to use a baseball analogy, he's like that guy that you've got on your local AA or AAA team, and he's been called up to the main roster, and he's doing okay, but he's not doing what he was doing at the lower level. You're just waiting for him to break out, and I think it's going to be coming, sooner or later.
Yeah, I think he'll be. Unfortunately, I think with this group of guys, he'll be probably the first one eliminated, just because if you look at everybody else on the team, they're kind of a little above him. But who knows? I would like to see him stick around a lot and put on a good showing. I'd love to see him and Strowman face off. That would be pretty awesome.
I don't know. He's got a pretty good track record in multi-man matches.
That is true. That is very true. Yeah. So, yeah, him and Strowman looking eye to eye. That'd be pretty awesome. It's just weird that the teams put together aren't like cohesive units. Like they have feuds.
Oh, not at all.
They have feuds like within the team, which you would think that if you were a GM, you'd want to like put guys that work well together. Like you probably wouldn't want Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles on the same team because they just hate each other and they're going to fight against each other. So
yeah, you don't want Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins on the same team.
Right, exactly. So it's a little weird. I get that they're trying to make it a very high profile match and it's going to be like, it's the 5 best versus the 5 best, but I don't know. It's still a team. So you got to kind of think about that aspect. I think that, adding, I don't know who else I'd add in there because I know they're doing like a tag team one too, which is crazy. Let's talk about that for a second. A 10-on-10 Survivor Series tag team elimination match. Holy shit. There's so many guys in this thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be crazy. So
that's how you get everybody on a pay-per-view right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey guys, everybody's on this card. So let's see. For Team Raw, so far we've got the New Day, Big E, Kofi, and or Xavier Woods. I guess that's pretty much it for Team Raw. That's officially announced. And then SmackDown, we've got Heath Slater and Rhino, the Hype Bros, Zack Ryder and Mojo, American Alpha, and the Usos. So again, like the Usos, in American Alpha on the same team, it's gonna be weird. But we'll see.
You mean the Usos and anybody on the same team?
Yeah, that's true. You mean just the Usos are weird? Yeah. And I think there's one more spot too on that side. So we're waiting on one more team. So obviously, I mean, I don't think there's any like shockers of who the tag teams are. They only have so many. So like the Vaudevillains maybe find their way in somewhere.
I hope not. I hope it's Breezango.
I hope it's Breezango too. Where are the Ascension? The Ascension's on SmackDown, right?
No, we don't have to talk about them.
I think they'll be all right. Yeah. But let's see. And then again, let's go into the women's, the ladies. They will also have their own 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw, Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Bayley, and then 2 other people to be determined. Versus Team SmackDown, we got Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and Naomi. So,
and coached by Natalya.
Is she really? Yeah, she's coaching, right? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
I'm sure Nikki Bella and Carmella on the same team with Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. That'll work out just fine.
Yeah, I know. It's very silly the way that it's set up. The only thing is though, I really do love Survivor Series matches. I love the old Survivor Series where they would like create their own teams, like 4 or 5 man teams, and then they would all have like a theme, and man, those are so good. Like that, and that was like the whole card. I remember the one where Undertaker debuted because I used to watch it when I was sick all the time. Like like at school, if I took a day off, I'd watch it on VHS. And
he was on the $1 Million Team, right?
Yeah, that's where he debuted, the $1 Million Team. He was the mystery, I don't know, mystery partner or something. So he came down with Brother Love. So that was pretty cool. There's like the $1 Million Team. There was the Dusty Rhodes had a team actually in that match. That's who they fought. It was I can't remember, like maybe it was like the Dream Team or something, and it was like Coco Beware and the Hart Foundation and Dusty Rhodes. I remember Jake the Snake had a team. Obviously Hulk Hogan had a team, and it was like him and Tugboat, and I think maybe the Bushwhackers. I don't know. It was just like the who's who of like 90s wrestling, or it was awesome. Late 80s, 90s.
It was the teams from Hogan's Rock and Wrestling.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And you had your good guys and your bad guys on separate teams, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. So it worked. It clicked. It was great. And then at the end of that one, and I don't know if they've done this since or ever done this before, I only remember it from this one. I think it was 1990. I think it was they all the survivors had a big match at the end, and it was like Hogan, Warrior, and Texas Tornado, and I think Tito Santana, maybe, versus like the entire $1 million. Oh no, actually, it was Ted DiBiase, and then like the entire team that Rick Martel had. It was like the Warlord and Hercules, and it was pretty awesome. So I wish they would do something like that again. That was really entertaining and didn't really involve any storyline either, like what was actually going on. It was just like this one weird, like, hey, we're just gonna do this for this pay-per-view and then move on. So it was pretty cool. I like that. I wish they do more stuff like that. What else? What else? Oh, last week we talked about Austin Aries a little bit. At the time, we didn't really know what was going on. We just knew that he had a huge fucking eyeball. So, because it like literally got announced like that day, he threw up that picture. But turns out he's got like a broken orbital, and he's he needs surgery or got surgery, so he's gonna be out. He's gonna be out till I don't know sometime in 2017. So he'll be out for a while.
Just give him a Cody Rhodes mask. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. So looking forward to his return at some point. It's a bummer. It's another NXT guy down. Man, they're just taking a beating down there at NXT. I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna rely on, because it's like they're running out of people for, Shinsuke to fight, and they're running out of like people with actual like legitimacy. Names. Yeah, exactly. They're running out of names very fast. So, but we'll see. Some people will get to step up. So some people will get some opportunities. Maybe a star will be born, hopefully. Speaking of NXT, how thin is that women's division down there? Jesus.
I think NXT's thin all around, really.
Yeah.
And I think it could be a blessing almost if it could work out the way I have it in my head. But you've gained the extra fans that have come on within the last two years, right?
Yep.
And let's say you move some guys up. You move like Samoa Joe and Shinsuke, and maybe keep, I don't know, move Ty Dillinger up too, I guess, finally.
Right.
You try to find somebody to make champion, but it could be back like when, nobody really knew who Neville was, or Sami Zayn, or, any of those guys. But you've got the extra viewership, and then as it gets hot again, you're going to gain more, and it'll just keep growing that way. Kind of hot and cold periods. During the cold periods, they're building the talent up and getting people excited about it again. I don't know. Maybe it's already past that point.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it could work out that way. I mean, I hope it works out that way, because I like it when NXT succeeds. I think that it's just obviously when they're good, like it makes everything else better. So we'll see. I hope that they can kind of find a few stars down there. I know that they're making a big deal out of I guess in the women's division with like Peyton Royce, and what's the other girl's name there that you like?
Billy Kay.
Billy Kay. Yeah, they're kind of heading up the women's division, which is I guess it's good. I mean, I think that they're both really good, but it's like that's really it. I mean, Asuka is just bored down there. They're bringing in Mickie James to fight her, but Mickie James is sticking around.
I have to admit, I haven't really watched NXT since the brand split.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's a lot of new people, and they're just nobody really sticks out. I think that they're testing some people out, putting them on TV, like like Steve Cutler. It's like, okay, this guy's got a gimmick. Okay, I guess. But it's not really hitting home with anybody. Who's the Patrick Clark guy? He was on Tough Enough.
Yeah, he's doing like
some weird gimmick now.
Like like a copycat gimmick where he copies somebody famous somewhere. I don't know. He did Donald Trump for a while, and then I don't know who he did last time. He like came out and talked shit to Shinsuke and got his ass beat.
Yeah, he just looked like a weird like Jimi Hendrix kind of wannabe.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know.
it.
It was just weird. So I don't know what they're doing with that guy. I mean, that guy has got good size and he's athletic, I guess. But it's like if they're trying to make that guy a guy, it's like it's gonna be a while. I don't know. Like they got to find something for him because it's not really hitting like at all on anything. So, but I don't know, man. Time will tell with NXT. I think it's in a down slope now, but like you said, it'll peak. It'll get back up there. So, another thing. Let's see, 205 Live, is that what it's gonna be called? The Cruiserweight Show or Live 205, whatever it's called. They're gonna have a live show for just the cruiserweights on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. And it starts at the end of the month, I believe, the 29th, I think. Man,
I don't understand though. So the cruiserweights are working twice as many days as everybody else now.
I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe they're gonna do it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess because it's live. I don't know. Seems really strange. I definitely don't hate on the idea of them having like their own show, but there's plenty of time on Raw to work them in. Like plenty of time. Like more than enough time to work in like 2 or 3 cruiserweight matches and showcase them on Raw. It just, I don't know why they need like their own show. I love watching them, and I will most definitely watch that show if they actually do it well and have good storylines because the wrestling is going to be phenomenal. But it seems like, man, one more show that I gotta not watch now. It's
I've
hard.
gone back to watching the Hulu version of Raw because
You
I
have to.
can I have to. I can't do 3 hours.
No,
You
it's
know,
the worst.
90 minutes is about my max.
Yeah, and even that gets lengthy too sometimes when granted you're gonna miss like the Gold Dust R-Truth spot, but yeah, I'm fine with that. Um, it's mostly like the main event, and then they'll show you like a couple other things. So yeah, who's really great for that. Um, but man, adding a whole nother show, live show, on top of all the content that they already have is just.
And in the Talking Smack slot.
That's right. Yeah. So Talking Smack gets moved back. Is that what's going on? Or
I guess so. That's bullshit.
yeah, because Talking Smack's great. It's one of their like thriving shows right now. Um, I don't get that decision, but they got to fit it in somewhere, I guess. And I I guess with travel wise, maybe that makes sense to do it on a, you know, it's. I'm assuming it's just going to be. Well, no, that doesn't make sense. I was gonna say it'd just be like, you know, after SmackDown, but you would think that the cruiserweights being on SmackDown would be beneficial, but they're not. They're on Raw, because then they
Right.
could do it like right after the SmackDown show. They could quickly like change the ring to the shitty purple ropes and then just do the show, and it would be like that would be like the easiest way to do a live show, but it's not. The cruiserweights are on Raw. Man, I don't know how they're gonna do this. I don't get it because I don't know because Raw and SmackDown they have two different like routes, two different. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. We'll see. But anyway, I mean, I'm really looking forward to more cruiserweights. Because they're definitely not getting shown on Raw enough. They do the Perkins and Kendrick's match, weekly match, which is fine. I love Brian Kendrick, but it's like I want to see some more Lindsay Dorado, our boy Lindsay. I want to see some Rich Swann. I mean, I know that these guys all had like a show on the pre-show or the whatever it's called now at Hell in a Cell, but it was a great match. But like, I really want to see these guys, man. I want to see these guys get into actual storylines, actual like feuds. Not just the two guys at the top. Like Lindsay's amazing, Swann's just incredible. Like Gulak's awesome. Like these guys are just amazing. Like these guys have to be worked in somehow. So we'll see. Maybe this new show
Right now with the cruiserweights too, though, is there's not enough of a difference between the cruiserweights and the heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, back when back in my day, when WCW had the cruiserweight division. The cruiserweights were so much different than the regular wrestling, than the heavyweight wrestling.
Right.
They were wrestling a completely different style. They were doing more technical stuff, more high flying stuff, and the bigger guys were all doing brawling, maybe some technical stuff, but not too crazy. And it was a huge difference. The wrestling was way better in the cruiserweight division. Now the wrestling's pretty great everywhere, and it's kind of killing it.
Yeah, and I feel like the weight too is too high for the cruiserweights, because at 205, I mean, you have guys like Seth Rollins, who is the man. He's like the top guy. He's like what, 200 pounds? It's like
Seth Rollins is like 215.
Is he really? He's yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, he wouldn't have any issue like getting to 205. I mean, it's just like he's not that much bigger than a cruiserweight. Whereas like you mentioned back in the day, you had Juventud Guerrero, and then you had like Goldberg, So
and the thing was, back then, I think WCW's cruiserweight weight limit was 225.
Was it really? It was that much? Wow. Yeah. But you have like some of these guys now, like I mean, Kendrick's tiny. I mean, he's like 160,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he doesn't come close. You have guys like
TJ Perkins is only like $180.
Yeah, and like Rich Swann is small. He's like 170, something like that. I mean, he's a small guy. So yeah, you have all these guys that like aren't.
Cedric Alexander's like a legit 205, but he had to like drop down to be that.
Yeah, he had to cut down, which I mean, maybe they're doing it for like those guys, but I just feel like the weight is just too much because it's just too close to the rest of the roster.
I feel like Sami Zayn could, skip a bag of chips and be in that division.
That's true. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. And like, where does that leave guys like Neville? And, I mean, I don't know what Neville weighs in at. He's clearly more than 205, but like, he's just a brick shit house. But it's like, he's a small.
Yeah, but he can't be any more than Tony Nese. Tony Nese is jacked. Yeah, that guy's 205.
So, yeah.
But guys like Sin Cara, bullshit, that guy's 205.
Yeah, how's that guy in the cruiserweight division all of a sudden? Sin Cara's a bigger guy. So, I don't know. It's weird. It's gonna be, I guess, cool to see to get more eyes on these guys, but they got to still do something with it. The Cruiserweight Classic was super entertaining, so hopefully it's more like that, and it's way more focused on them.
I don't think I've seen Grand Metalik since they debuted.
I know. What's going on with that guy?
I don't know.
Hope he's not hurt or anything, because that guy's great. So, well, I don't know, man. I look forward to it, but at the same time, I'm a little weary about what's going to happen here. So, all right, man. What do you say? Did you see Goldberg fall on his ass the other day?
I missed it. I was watching out of the corner of my eye, and I saw him, like beating up Rusev and like throwing knees, and then, we did the spear on Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
I didn't see him fall. I missed it.
No, because you watched it on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they cut it. They cut it on Hulu.
Ah.
Yeah, it's super shady. They cut it in the replay on Raw, and then they cut it on Hulu. I saw it. How did I see it? I think I saw it somehow. Oh, I think I saw it on Twitter. Like somebody posted like a video, and then I saw it that night, and then I watched Raw the next day on Hulu, and they cut it. They cut out his slip, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it was a pretty good edit because I didn't even really notice it. I had to like watch it again to be like, did I just miss it? But yeah, he like goes to grab Rusev and like knee him in the in the stomach, and like he just kind of slips and falls, and
he forgets that you still have to have one leg on the ground.
Yeah, it was just weird. You could just tell that he was like, he just got a little too excited. Like, I don't know. I'm really scared about this Goldberg's involvement here in this match, especially against Lesnar. Goldberg looked, I mean, he was sweating buckets the other night, and he was out of breath.
Come on, they'll have him down at the Performance Center, beating up on little guys, for a couple weeks.
Yeah, but a couple weeks, man. Like, I mean, when is Survivor Series? It's this month, man. He's got to get his shit together. I mean, he was toast the other night just from his entrance and from cutting a promo, and then doing a quick 1 minute scrap with Rusev. And, you know, maybe it's just adrenaline and his blood's pumping. And I know that like when I've, done stuff, like when I would do like competitions and stuff, like the initial charge of like adrenaline, you kind of get out of breath quickly, but then, you catch it, you get your pace back and everything's fine. So maybe that's what will happen with Goldie in the Lesnar match, but it's nerve wracking to see him, not really prepared. You would think that he's known about this for a while. It's not like they just scrapped this together. I mean, he should have been training or something, or
maybe he needs to listen to a different music before he walks out. Scrap the AC/DC. Maybe listen to Piano Man.
yes, like in high school, we listen to Piano Man before football games. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah. So yeah, Goldberg really scares me in this. We'll see. I thought the promos from Lesnar have been super douchey and scary, like always.
Well, he's a super douche, so
Yeah.
that fits.
Yeah, he's pulling the whole like I don't give a shit about your kids kind of thing. And that's another thing. I'm not sure I love the whole
It's
Goldberg.
true though.
Well, it is true. Yeah, I know. Like that's the thing. Like this is legitimately like a shoot for Lesnar. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure I dig the whole Goldberg super face, fun loving dad kind of like doing it for the kids shtick. I just want him to come out and be badass again.
Really, I'm buying it.
Are you really?
I am.
He's like coming out and kissing kids left and right and headbutting.
Oh, he's
kids.
super creepy, but I'm buying that he believes he's a superhero.
Yeah. I guess I can't stop flip flopping on Goldberg. Like I wasn't excited about it, and then when he came out,
he definitely belongs in a mental institution. But
yeah.
Charges may be filed after Survivor Series.
Yeah. Oh man. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Goldberg Lesnar. It's gonna happen pretty soon. So Goldberg better be ready. I don't think the match lasts very long, to be honest with you. I don't think Goldberg can go, and I think everybody knows that, including him. At his age, I mean, it's just he's not gonna go for a 20-minute suplex ride.
God no.
I think this match is gonna be very quick. And
who bleeds first?
Who bleeds first?
Yeah.
I don't know. Lesnar has a knack for like bleeding on pay-per-views for some strange reason. Like he just gets like little nicks like all the time, and just
I'm pretty sure that's because he tells the guys to really punch him in the face.
Yeah. Remember at like Mania when he suplexed Reigns so many times? Like Reigns's his vest was like cutting him. He had like all these little cuts all over his face.
Yeah, because the thing's like got Velcro all over it, and it's like slicing him.
Yeah. Lesnar.
I was watching Roman Reigns in the Hell in a Cell match, and his chest protector is getting like bulkier all the time. It seems like the pads on the back now and the straps on the side. It's like, what's the point of wrestling a guy wearing armor?
I know. I'm surprised it hasn't been like brought up, like, or like somebody hasn't like torn it off. Like I figured Lesnar would like rip it off and like just beat the shit out of him with like a chair or something.
I mean, maybe it's gonna take a smart heel like a Chris Jericho or a Kevin Owens to point out what an idiot everybody else is and letting this guy wrestle with armor on.
Yeah, I could see Jericho doing that. That'd be just another thing to his arsenal. I mean, he's a guy that could like, bring it up as a talking point and run with it and just be like sneaky.
And then just chop the hell out of him, make him bleed.
Yeah, like in the match, just kind of like take it off and then, chop him and or bring in a chair or something. Like there's all kinds of things that they could do with it, and I'm surprised that they haven't done it yet. So, yeah. Anything else you got on Goldberg besides looking winded and sweaty?
Nope.
No, that's about it. Yeah. We'll touch on Orton Wyatt real quick, just because I like literally just watched SmackDown before we came on. I'm digging it, man. I dig Randy Orton with the Wyatts. I mean, it's very apparent that it's causing friction with Luke Harper, and so there's going to be obviously like a Luke Harper Randy Orton scuffle or a Luke Harper, strays away or something. But I really dig Randy in the Wyatts right now. I think it's far better than when Daniel Bryan was in there. That seemed very forced. And obviously Daniel Bryan was like doing it like against his will. Randy Orton seems 110% in. It's awesome. I love it. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think that Luke Harper looks like he's getting a little miffed. He looks like he doesn't really want to trust Orton, but he's giving him the benefit of the doubt. But then every time Bray gives Randy a little more rope, it makes Luke Harper a little more nervous every time.
Yeah. Indeed. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
I like how Mauro Ranallo called his discus clothesline a rolling elbow.
No, I didn't catch that.
Well, you could tweet it at him, John.
I can?
Sure.
Will he reply?
You're getting blocked by everybody else. You might as well go for the trifecta.
I know. It's just Jericho. I think I'm just blocked by Jericho. I don't know. Mauro still owes me an autograph. So maybe I'll at the
You're
same
never
time.
Getting that.
I'm never getting that. What a lying son of a bitch. Mauro. I'll tweet the rolling elbow and the autograph all in one, and we'll see what he says. He'll reply with a block. He's quick to block people nowadays. Man, I see him blocking people left and right. Toughen up, Mauro.
Maybe because his announcing went from being cool and different to being obnoxious.
Yeah, it went to being like, wow, this guy's different and this guy's like hip and he actually talks about the match. And then he didn't do that. He just throws in like all these crazy fucking references. Like, that's like Kanye West. It's like, oh, shut up. Come on, Mauro. You're better than that. I think. I hope.
I think.
I hope. I don't know. Yeah, I was like super pumped when he first came over. I was like, yeah, man, this guy's great. He calls the match. He says moves. He doesn't just talk about like what's gonna go on in the main event later when like two like randos are wrestling. But then he throws in shitty references like that are so obviously like just pre-thought out. He's just like, oh, that's like, Kanye West's song, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what? Like, you don't know that. You just
happen, right?
Yeah, you just looked that up. Like, you had that planned today. You're like, what obscure reference can I throw into tonight's show?
He's as scary as Wu-Tang's Ghostface Killer.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Mauro? Calm down. God. Unbelievable. So,
yeah, he's getting to be pretty transparent.
Yeah. I think their announcing is back to being pretty terrible again. I think Corey Graves is really good. David Otunga is pretty terrible.
JBL is pretty horrible.
JBL is terrible. I think really Graves is on Raw is like the only one that I'm like, yeah, he's pretty good. Because he has a shtick and he sticks to it, and he doesn't like kill it. He's the heel commentator, but he's
also not lying to you.
Right, exactly. And he doesn't do like really shitty references. He knows his shit. He knows history of things but he doesn't like push it too much on you.
Byron Saxton tries to be too cute all the time.
Oh, Byron's terrible. I like that Corey Graves will like make fun of Cole. Like if Cole fucks up though, that's the best. That's the best. If Cole says something wrong, he just totally like calls him on it, and it's hilarious because Cole's the worst.
Yeah. He's really the only guy there that I like.
Yeah. So let's say you get something going on. You think WWE has a lack of stars. So why don't you take this one? Why don't you start open this conversation?
Well, think of who the stars are right now. You have AJ Styles on SmackDown. John Cena's filming a show.
Yeah, what show is he doing? I've been wondering where he is.
I think it's American Grit again.
Oh yeah, season 2 or something.
Season 2. I mean, you have Becky Lynch. I mean, SmackDown really has more female stars, I think, right now that are viable. With Alexa Bliss. All right, maybe that's 2. But on Raw, you have Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho are kind of stealing the show. Seth Rollins has had some good matches. But other than that, I mean, like, where's your star power? You know, it's thin. I mean, they've about wiped Cesaro off the map.
Right. Yeah, he's just dicking around with Sheamus right now in a tag team. Still, dude, he's been with Sheamus for like, in some way or another, for like 2 years now. It seems like it's just the worst. Yeah, man. No, I agree. I think that they're definitely lacking some star power. Jericho's great. KO's great.
I mean, it hurts with Finn Balor being out.
Yeah.
And
when Cena leaves, I mean, it definitely is there's definitely a drought. Like, as much as we, shit on Cena and then praise Cena, I mean, he's a star, man. I mean, he's their guy right now. He's like their ambassador. Like, he's a movie star. He does, he hosts award shows. Like, he's their guy. So he's a huge star. When he's not around, it's definitely noticeable.
Yeah, I just want Cena to come back and be hot for the Intercontinental title next year.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's the only title he's never won, and I think he works the best with like the upper mid card guys.
Yeah.
I mean, when he had the U.S. title and he was working with the mid card to upper mid card guys, those matches were great.
Those matches were great.
He was putting on the best performances of his life. People were starting to like stop boo him. The matches were so good.
Yeah. Yeah, he was having great matches with like Ziggler and Cody and
Cesaro, Dean,
like KO, obviously, like that feud.
Neville.
Yeah, Neville.
Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. Good matches with everyone.
Yeah, that's Cena's thing, man. I mean,
his matches with Rusev were always good.
Yep. Yeah, I liked his feud with Rusev. Poor Rusev, man. That guy just gets he gets stuck in feuds for way too long, and they never benefit him ever. He always comes out, on the losing end. I mean, this thing with Reigns went on forever, it felt like. And, the infamous one with Ziggler, like last year, just took forever. I just want Rusev to be a monster. Like, let him just be a monster. Let him just kick the shit out of, the cruiserweights or something. Let him just beat the shit out of some of these guys and just be like a force to be reckoned with. But he's always like just that. And then somebody comes along like Roman Reigns, who's a bigger dog in the fight and takes him out. And it's just like, the laughing stock of like that mid card pack, and then they use him to, in this whole Goldberg thing. I mean, it's good that they trust him and that he's a good worker and that he can be in that spot, I guess. But I just want to see him move up. I think the guy can really do some really good things, and they get him like halfway there.
Did you see what he tweeted? He was like, Goldberg knows spears get me, but spears don't affect me, but jackhammers, look out.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's a good sport about it, I guess, too. But man, I just want them to use him better.
At WrestleMania, he got to take the beating from Austin.
Right. Yeah. And like he had a thing with The Rock, a while ago in one of The Rock's appearances. So yeah, just it's weird. Yeah, dude. One reason
the Dean Ambrose experiment didn't really work out. They cannot get Roman Reigns over in his current iteration. Something would have to change for him to really get over.
Right, but they won't. They'll just keep pressing on. So I think too, like, hear me out on this. I think, and I know I've mentioned this kind of thing before, but this definitely ties into it, is the reason why they don't have like these huge stars anymore. Like, I don't think they're ever going to have like a Rock again or Austin or Hogan. And it's not to say that those guys are like, once in a generation superstars. I mean, you look at the Attitude Era, and there were tons of guys. I mean, or not tons, but like a handful. Rock and Austin, they were around at the same time. Triple H is another guy, big star. Excuse me. But nowadays, it's so much wrestling all the time that I see Seth Rollins on my TV nonstop. And I love Seth Rollins. And I think he's one of the guys that we're talking about in this picture where he is at the top, but he's never going to be, Rock. He's never going to be Austin because they have too many of these guys who are all very, very good. And none of them stand out from each other. And I see them all the time. I see wrestling on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a pay-per-view on Sunday. And it's like, the cool thing about seeing Hulk Hogan is that I saw him on a Saturday, maybe sometimes beating up, Iron Mike Sharp. And then I saw him on a pay-per-view, and that was it. And it was awesome to see him when you could. But now it's just so much stuff.
The only person that they keep off TV, and it's for a completely different reason. I mean, inadvertently, they keep Sasha Banks off TV because she's usually nursing some type of nagging injury, but it helps when she's on TV because it's special,
Yeah.
It makes it makes Charlotte's win in Hell in a Cell bigger, I guess, because you don't get to see Sasha wrestle every week on Raw, because sometimes she has to take time off, and I think it only benefits her.
Yeah, she will. And we won't talk too much about Hell in a Cell. I think we'll talk about Hell in a Cell probably next week a little bit more. But yeah, she it was a great match that she had, but man, she took a beating, and her matches, I really wish she would change up her style a little bit to be more mat based. A lot of locks and holds, because she is just getting killed out there, and she's tiny and she can't keep that pace up.
Yeah, she's not heavy enough to break a table.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know, man. But yeah, that's a good point. Like, they take her off TV for 2 or 3 weeks, and when she comes back, it's that much more important, And I'm not saying that they should take these guys off TV very often, but at least just don't have them like maybe wrestle so much. Like, Cesaro is a prime example of it. Like, that guy wrestles like every fucking week, and it's like, I get it. Like,
and they're all 20-minute matches too.
Yeah, like, I love Cesaro, but like, I don't need to see 50 European uppercuts tonight. Like, just give me 2 weeks off. Like, it's fine. Like, even Sheamus, who isn't one of my favorite superstars at all, but like, when he's gone, injured or whatever, like doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like whatever he's doing, and he's not on TV, when he comes back, I get a little excited that Sheamus is like back, and
yeah, like you forget how big he is. You're like, oh man, he looks like he could tear everybody up right now,
Yeah, exactly. And I know that you don't want to do that too much because then it gets repetitive, but they got to figure something out to really limit these guys' exposure. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's just.
Well, you think about it, John Cena, he takes time off now, and I get pretty excited when he comes back now.
Dude, when I hear that, oh man, it's great. It's great. I love it. It's one of the most like anticipated sounds now in wrestling for me, is when Cena's off TV and I hear that noise, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, Cena's coming back. And Lesnar too. Lesnar's the same way. Like, Lesnar's a great example. And I know that that's because of like his own contract and his, like, he doesn't want to work that much. But, it's a spectacle when Lesnar, they'll announce it like, Lesnar is going to be on Raw in 2 weeks. It's like, okay, I'm tuning in because I haven't seen him in 2 months,
Right. And, remember when you were a kid, they might announce that, we've got an interview coming up with Hulk Hogan, after the break with Mean Gene, and you'd watch it. Or Hulk Hogan is in the building this week, and then you might get to see him wrestle.
Exactly. But like, and that's the thing. They got to make these guys stars by doing stuff like that. I'm not saying like do that with, and no offense to like Kofi Kingston, but like, you know, they don't need to do that to Kofi Kingston. Kofi is a guy that can come out and he's a mid-card guy and he can wrestle every week and he can put on really good matches and that's fine. But like, you know, guys like Kevin Owens, who I love, and I love seeing Kevin Owens on TV, but like just pump the brakes a little bit because I don't want his shtick to run out. And I don't think that it will because Kevin Owens is super talented and he's very quick-witted and smart. But like, if I see him wrestle every week, it's going to get like it's going to get dry, you know, if he's doing the same match every week. And like you look at this Ambrose and AJ Styles thing right now going on SmackDown. They've wrestled each other for like a month straight, just like every night.
Yeah, just ages.
Yeah, and the only thing kind of keeping it interesting is the James Ellsworth thing, like his involvement with it. But if it was just these two guys going at it, like it would be super boring because their matches are very repetitive now. And especially with Ambrose's like limited, you know, arsenal, it's just it gets really repetitive. So it's hard, man. It's hard to kind of find that niche of like where these guys should be. And I think that's the answer. And that, again, that's just my opinion. I think that the answer is to really limit when these guys are on TV, you know, have KO just take a week off, you know, like have him just not be on Raw. And then people go, oh, why is KO not on Raw? Like, that's weird. Oh, he's not on Raw again. What's going on with KO? Oh, he's on Raw this week. Cool. And then you get excited about it. But as of now, it's just part of the show. You know, it's hard. It's hard to kind of sit through it every week. So, and I'm just using KO as an example. I think just because he's in our group of upper echelon guys, but you could do that with anybody. You know, you could do that with Seth or even Jericho. I don't know, but definitely it works with Sasha, like you said. I think it definitely helps that she's not there all the time because her star power, if she was there every week, I think she would be exposed a little bit and it'd be overbearing sometimes. So
Right. And you know, Charlotte might come out and cut a promo every week, but she's not wrestling every week, which is kind of good, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And she's a gal too that she saves a lot for pay-per-views. I mean, or when she does wrestle, like if she has a main event, if she main events Raw, she's pulling out all the stops. But if she's just like a mid-card match, you know, mid-program match, like she's not going to jump off the top rope and do a corkscrew to the outside. Like she knows her shit. She knows what she's doing. Even though she does that stuff, I still consider her a very like safe, you know, worker. She doesn't take a lot of like crazy bumps. She's a big girl. She can handle it. Sasha, on the other hand, it's hard to watch, man. I thought that Hell in a Cell match was awesome, but man, Sasha how many times did she just like land on her neck? Where I was like, God, come on, Sasha, like protect yourself. Like you're going to get seriously injured.
Yeah, you don't have to pick her up and scoop slam her every time you see her in the ring there, Charlotte, you know?
Yeah. So I don't know.
And drop her, you know, upside down against the cage. Just stop.
I know. There's one where she just landed right on her neck, like outside on the cage. I was like, God damn it. What is happening? Stop the damn match. It's awful. But anyway, like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about Hell in a Cell, especially that match specifically next week. But we'll see. Anything else you want to talk about the about lack of stars or just anything else in general tonight, man?
No, I'm good with WWE stuff. You know, I know Limitless has an event coming up in Orono.
Yeah.
Hogwash.
Yeah, it's called Hogwash. Be pretty cool. Who do they got there? They've got who's already announced for that card?
Space Monkey.
Yeah.
Who else? I was just looking at my Twitter because he just became friends with me.
Ace?
Rex Lawless.
Yeah. I believe Ace is going to fight Brian Fury.
Oh, is he?
I think so.
Nice.
I believe that's it. And I believe it's their first and last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of Brian Fury's last dates.
Yeah. I think it's his last date in Maine, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, let me get my facts straight on that, and we'll kind of report more on that next week. And they'll have more announced wrestlers too by then as well, but we can report on that a little bit more too next week. So and that should be good. Hopefully we can make it up there to Orono.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of independent wrestling, help our buddy Randy Carver out. Randy is young. He's like 19, and he's running his own wrestling company.
He's amazing. He's a great guy.
Go to limitlesswrestling.com and buy yourself the Past Your Bedtime DVD. You'll probably see Fashion and myself in the crowd because we were only, 3 rows back?
Yeah.
Right. You get to see Lince Dorado's last independent match.
It was fantastic.
Get to see A.R. Fox fight Ace Romero before he debuted on Lucha Underground.
That match was nuts. Yeah, man.
A.R. Fox ran up a wall.
Yeah, it's a great. It was a great card through and through. So yeah, I second that. Go to limitlesswrestling.com and buy that DVD. It's gonna be awesome.
Have you ever seen a Guitar Hero guitar used as a weapon? I don't think these guys had before either because it looked painful.
Yeah, you will see it on this DVD. So yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to Hogwash. Hopefully, I can make it up there. I gotta pull some strings, but I think I can do it. So we'll see.
Filmed by the lovely TC Tapes, by the way.
TC Tapes, big shout out to TC Tapes. Yep. She's awesome, man. She travels around. She does Limitless. She does Beyond Wrestling. I mean, she's
done
a real deal.
Yeah,
man. So she's great. What else? We didn't even do tonight. We didn't even do plugs. We didn't do plugs earlier. Oh well. I don't think I had anything for plugs except for our own plugs. But you just plugged some stuff, so that's good. And that's
I just plugged Limitless. Yeah.
I know. That's what just reminded me of it.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to make it up for Who Watches the Watchmen, and I have not been able to find a rundown of how it played out. Yeah.
I got to get the results on that too. I know that our boys, Main State Posse, lost to the Tenacious 2. That's pretty much the only thing I know.
You mean Scott Wilde gets to stick around?
He does. He gets to stick around. Him and Torres stick around in Limitless for the time being, which is good though. Because
that's a three match losing streak for the Main State Posse.
I know. They got to pull it together.
They do have some sick new T-shirts out though.
They do. I like those tees. I got to get me one of those tees. Yeah. Again, buy that merch too, along with that Past Your Bedtime DVD. So. All right. Well, quick plugs that you already got into, but we'll do some plugging for us. If you guys want to find us, we're on iTunes, we're on Podbean, we're on Stitcher, we're on TuneIn Radio. Go there, search ISR2M podcast. You're gonna find us. Rate, review, subscribe, all that stuff. Just subscribe, man. It's gonna come right to your phone every time we upload it, and boom, it's just right there waiting for you in the morning, right there. Listen to it, drink some coffee. Listen to
have you ever looked to see what our rates and reviews are? I've never even looked.
No, I look sometimes, but no.
Like if I went to Podbean right now, could I see?
You could see how many followers we have, and if anybody, reviewed us or rated us, but it's not much. So thanks for bringing that up. What else? Really, that's really it for plugs. Patreon.com/ISR2M. Go there. Give us some of your hard-earned money if you want. Get some good rewards on the other side. So stuff like stuff like t-shirts, stuff like show notes, all kinds of fun stuff. So patreon.com/ISR2M right there. And that's about it. Next week we're gonna have a fun show. We're gonna have Molly Adams on. She's an aspiring female wrestler, training down at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy, training down there, with Brian Fury and all the lovely people at New England Pro Wrestling Academy. She's just starting out, very green. She's basically driving back and forth from Maine to Mass like 3 nights a week. And she's going to come on, and we're going to talk to her specifically about the Hell in a Cell match between Charlotte and Sasha. Her being a female trying to get into the business, what kind of inspires her, and, get her take on that match specifically. But just kind of get her story, why she came on or got into wrestling. So should be a good show. Looking forward to that. She's a sweetheart, so should be cool. Other than that, man, what else? I'm good. I'm kind of spent tonight. What about you?
Yeah, I am going to bed.
You're gonna go to bed. You're gonna put your mouthpiece in, and you're gonna go to bed.
It's a Zipa.
Zipa. Nice. Cool. All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for joining me again. Get some sleep, and I will try to do the same. So, everybody, thanks for listening. Peace out, y'all.
Harmon316 on Twitter. Bye.